The Spinning Wheels Tour is going to be going across this country, and we want to tell you about it because it's an amazing effort that's being put forward. It's spinningwheelstour.ca is where you find it on the web. It's a cross-Canada bicycle tour, which is going to raise awareness of Parkinson's disease, major issue medically and growing, unfortunately. Steve Eisman and Jim Redmond, they are experienced long-distance cyclists, and they've both been diagnosed with young-onset Parkinson's disease. They're going to cycle from Victoria, British Columbia, and head east. They'll hit every Canadian province, winding up in St. John's, Newfoundland. That's about 8,000 K. And they expect to ride between 125 kilometers to 150 kilometers a day, 6 days a week. It's going to take about 3 months. They're going to be joined by Mike Logren and his wife and partner in Parkinson's, Darlene Richards Logren. And again, the website is spinningwheelstour.ca. We are joined by Steve Eisman and Jim Redmond. How are you guys?
Great, although with that introduction, I'm increasingly tired.
Yeah, Roy, we're good, thanks.
I was going to say, I mean, you're both living with young onset Parkinson's, and your plan is an 8,000 kilometer cross-Canada ride from Victoria to St. John's. Most people balk on riding to the grocery store and back. So, but all joking aside, I know you're both experienced cyclists and you're founders of Rigid Riders, a team of riders with Parkinson's and your supporters. So what was the genesis for the Spinning Wheels event?
Well, you know what, Roy, we were talking with Parkinson Canada, and they let us know that between 80 and 90% of people with Parkinson's sort of go it alone. They don't engage in any formal exercise or any formal support group. So we know the benefit of exercise. So we thought, you know what, if they're sort of staying in their homes, why don't we try to get to them? So we're going community to community, coast to coast. And we're going to try and reach as many people with Parkinson's to let them know that exercise helps with their symptoms.
That's great, because there, unfortunately, is likely a stigmatization, or there's a feeling that I might be stigmatized if I have Parkinson's and I go out in community. Would you share some information about Parkinson's, which affects more than 100,000 people across this country?
Okay, there is no cure for it right now. It occurs when the brain cells that produce dopamine start to die. They have no idea why, despite years of research on it. Right now, there is medication that can help alleviate symptoms, but it does not either stop the progression or even slow the progression right now. So, and everybody's experience with Parkinson's is very different, very unique to themselves. There's so many different types of Parkinson's that you might observe.
Yeah. When do you plan to, jump in the saddle and start spinning those pedals?
Well, that's a great question, Roy. We came over from Victoria yesterday, and it was a smaller ride. But today, we're taking the opportunity to talk with people like you. We're hoping to go to the University of British Columbia neurology clinic later today. But we're heading out from Vancouver tomorrow. We're going to make it to Chilliwack, and I think that's 126 kilometers, and we'll be doing a little climbing along the way.
That's great. I mean, you're inspiring me. I'm going to jump on the bike after the show now.
That's awesome.
We'd like you to join us.
I mean, the odds are we're going to pass really close to you at some point, Roy.
Well, if you do, I'll get my bike out and I'll ride with you.
That's what we're actually hoping happens. And it happened yesterday in Victoria. I think we had 8 people start off riding with us. And some of them had Parkinson's and some of them didn't. But we're inviting everybody to get on their bikes because biking is good for everyone, and come out and cycle with us. You can find our routes on spinningwheelstour.ca.
Yeah. People sometimes worry about, can I do it? Can I make it? I'm sure there are people with Parkinson's listening now or thinking, gee, I'd really like to try that, but can I do it? Can I make it? And I would imagine, I'm just asking you about this, Will the fact that you're living with Parkinson's potentially affect your cross-Canada ride? You're planning between 125 and 150 kilometers per day, not always downhill and with the wind at your back in cycling, as we know. How does Parkinson's affect that?
Are you able to hear?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Oh, boy.
Go ahead. Jim, Steve, can you hear me? Okay, so we clearly have a bit of a challenge with Zoom. So I'll ask the studio, see if you can call Jim and Steve on the phone. You have their phone numbers. Let's try the old way of doing things. Get them on the phone. And leave the Zoom channel.
Can you hear?
Oh, yeah. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we just came back online. Sorry for those technical difficulties.
Okay. I'm used to technical difficulties. So the question was, will the Parkinson's potentially, because people always ask themselves, will I be able to do this if I try something that's outside what I normally do? Even if it's outside my comfort zone, that's fine. But can I do it if I really extend? Will the fact that you're living in with Parkinson's potentially affect your ability to ride? I know it's not going to stop you from riding, but would it potentially limit your ability to ride on a given day?
Sure. Like every day is a little bit different. We wake up and all of a sudden spontaneously it's a bad day or a good day, and we might have to roll with that. But as far as others who might be considering joining us, we often get the question, "Oh, I'd really love to, but I'm afraid I might ride too slow, and I don't want to hold you guys up." Hold us up. That's why we've come this distance. That's why we're here. We want to connect with you. We think that we really believe in our core that they are going to be better off with cycling as part of their day, and if not cycling, then another sport that they enjoy, and we really want to be there for them.
And Roy, for me, Steve is generally faster than I am on a bike, and if I'm having a bad day, I'm just going to hook a rope to his bike, and I'm going to let him drag me along.
Okay, so when I'm with you guys, I'm going to hook a rope to both of you.
Oh, absolutely. We'll do it. No worries.
Because in cycling, it's always downhill with the wind at your back, right?
Yes, it is, and we're looking forward to that too.
Yeah. So, but you're not going alone. You have Mike Loughran and his wife and partner in Parkinson's, Darlene Riches Loughran, fully engaged as well. Tell us about that.
Oh, you know what, Roy? The truth is, this tour wouldn't be happening if it weren't for them. Mike is coordinating everything. And on top of that, he's actually coming out and riding with us, 2 to 4 times a week just for exercise, right? Because that's what we're trying to prove, that exercise is great for Parkinson's. And Darlene is driving, right? We have an RV we named Winnie or Wanda, and she's driving for us. So it's great to have that support. We're sleeping in the RV, so we don't have to worry about where we're going to be staying. Those two are amazing. And
you also have DeJour participation, and our listeners and Canadians across the country, Parkinson's, people living with Parkinson's can also watch you, stream you online. Tell us about that.
Well, it's something that we're still working through right now, but that's our ambition. In fact, if we can get things working correctly, we want to be able to mount cameras on the bike and maybe even be able to have a conversation while we're mid-cycle.
If you want to hear more, subscribe to The Roy Green Show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you find your favorites. And if you like what you hear, leave us a review and tell a friend. I'm Roy Green. Have a great weekend.